Play your jingle.
Play my jingle. Let's go. Get ready for the jingle, everyone.
We're back.
We are back. Episode 3, dude. We've lasted 3 weeks. Look at that.
I think this has got to be some kind of streak now. We're not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it catching on?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've lasted more than some other podcasts.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Jury's still out on that one. We'll wait for the results. What are we talking about this week, Joe?
Man, I had a great steak for dinner tonight. It was awesome.
Yummy. Medium rare.
You know what? My wife
Good move.
allows me because she'll cook it a little pink for me. She likes it cooked and then cooked again. So she likes the rubber meat.
Ooh.
So she definitely has to take it out early for me because I like my pink meat.
Ouch. Yeah. Okay. That's good. I don't know how your wife does that, but okay. Ruins the steak.
Yeah.
But let's get to business.
Let's get to business. Today we are talking about email, everybody. How exciting is that, right?
It is.
It is exciting.
It is.
It's something that everybody needs to use, right? And
Yes.
so I'll talk about my opinions of email. Greg, first.
Well, let's go. Let's clarify a little bit. We're not just like the hi, hey Joe, how you doing? We're talking about marketing, email, newsletters.
I thought you wanted to get straight to business, man. Like,
Okay.
no, yeah, go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
No, I mean, I just wanted to make sure we're clear that you're not talking about the random support email or the random
enough.
hi, how you doing? We're talking about from like a business standpoint and how we're trying to, as our Rapid Weaver developers, as we're trying to optimize our business, we're trying to grow our business, build our business, and how we're going to use email marketing and email newsletters, hopefully in some successful form over, I don't know, for me, 2018, that's my plan. I don't know about you, but 2018 is my goal to be better about this because
Yep.
I am horrible.
Yeah. So, they've been saying for years that, social media is the way to go, right? Like everything, all marketing's going social. And while I think that is important, all the money is still in email. Like, let me say that again, everyone. All of the money is still in email. That is my $100,000 tip for this podcast. How about that? $100,000 tip. There we go.
Wow.
$1 million tip.
I'm waiting for the person to try to collect on this.
Yeah. No promises. Where's the fast talking, disclaimer guy?
Where's your lawyer, Joe?
Yeah. Where's my lawyer?
You're going to cut in.
No promises. I cannot promise that you're making $1 million. Thank you, Greg, for keeping us honest. Okay.
Okay.
But I do have to say, so every single time I have a product launch, like, I think I'm going to, test this out. I'm going to, post about my new product purely on social media, right? For like 2 days, right? And without doubt, every single time, like I get some emails from my raging fans, right? That people that buy, a lot of the stuff that I have, right? And they go out and they buy, obviously, because they're the ones that are involved in the Weaver Space community. They're the ones that follow me on Twitter. Maybe you follow them in my Facebook group and whatnot, right? So, they're the people that are going to see that and then go out and, probably buy it. But most of my sales come in after I send out that email to the email blast to my list. Like, it is without a doubt, nobody, from a percentage standpoint, a vast majority of people do not buy the product until I send out that email that announces it to the world. So email is not dead. Email newsletters are important for your business. Okay. Now, let me just say one thing that I am bad at. Like, I have planned for a while to send out like regular newsletters, like, hey, here's this cool, new site. Here's this cool news article I read. And And while I'm getting somewhat better at that, I do have a section for, news related stuff on Weaverspace community. I haven't done it via email. And basically my emails right now are, I release something new. And I need to do better than that this year. And my goal is to, isn't just to, ask for your money in an email, and that isn't my intention, I should say. It isn't that my intention is, I am, wholeheartedly all in for the users of the community. It's just sending out emails, the one way to me to let everybody know that I have something awesome for you guys. I'm not a money grubber or anything like that, but that is kind of how I use email right now. And I could be better at that. I could use it as a utility to, train and inspire and teach more than I do just using it as a sales mechanism, I think. And ultimately, I think if I do that, like it could probably improve my conversions over time for sales, right? Because right now I send an email out, I don't know, every few months I'll ship something, right? Or something like that. And, it's like, oh, email from Joe. It must mean there's a new stack coming, right? Or something like that. So I want to be more regular, in your ears for teaching you how to do stuff. And I think that's important. So that's my goal for email in 2018. Hopefully I'll have time to do that. It really is my intention, but we'll see if I get there. How about you, Greg?
Yeah, it's hard. Like what I really want to do for email is I want to really set up drip marketing. I really want to try out being able to, collect a user's email and then remind them about me at some regular interval. So, if one thing I did a long time ago was I developed this free site treat from Chili Dog Hosting. It's broken now and I have to fix it and repair it, but it would test your site for various SEO metrics. So it would check, is gzip enabled? Do you have a duplicate homepage? Do you have various easy, low-hanging fruit issues with your site? And at the same time, it would send you this report and it would sign you up for my newsletter, which I am not taking advantage of. But in an ideal world, I would set up this drip email campaign where once I collect that email address, I would then, teach the user about another topic and remind them about my service and my products and do that at some periodic interval so that they don't forget about me, and that I stay fresh in their mind. It help build that kind of a domain authority that I'm trying to seek with people, that I have this knowledge and reputation that I'm trying to maintain over time. And, eventually, hopefully, when they're looking for product or service, that I'm somebody that comes to mind for them. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm kind of hoping to do.
Yeah. I agree. The autoresponder series are good. I did one for the email thing, and again, another failure. So I plan on having 10 email tips when you signed up for the email newsletter thing on my emailstacks.com. And I think I had 2, and I never made the rest of the 8 emails in the series. So I apologize to everyone that subscribed to that series, and he only ended up getting 2 emails, and he should have got 10. That's on my list for this year. Another thing that I did do, I think I did this last year, was anyone that bought Foundation last year, like new users that bought it, got an email, like a welcome to Foundation email. I never got any feedback from anyone on that, but I should look at the analytics on that.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And, that makes me want to kind of do something like that for my products as well. Now, and kind of help people get started with whatever they just bought.
Exactly. That was the whole point is, hey, thanks for buying this, here's step 1 where you get started. Here's step 2, or something like that, or it could be a sequence of emails, it could start a whole chain. Right. So that's definitely.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. So the user flow for that is after they purchase the product, Cartlam sends that to your Sendy installation and they're subscribed. And that triggers the adds them to the list, and that triggers the autoresponder.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you want to talk about how users could possibly get started with something like this?
Yeah. So I think we structure this here. You wrote the structure down. Kind of what are the flows we're going to go through in this episode, Greg, really quick?
Sure. We're going to start with collecting email.
Okay. So collecting email, and then we're going to talk about design, and then what was next?
Design, list segmentation, maybe drip email marketing a little bit, and then talk about delivery. So basically, how do you go from 0 to hero, right?
Sweet.
0 to sending out an email marketing campaign.
Yeah. So collecting email, right? There's many different ways to collect email. I guess right now, so I use a software package called Sendy. I guess I should clarify that, right? It's kind of a self-installed, and I manage everything on my own. As you know, Greg, I'm sure he'll talk about it, has his own email service that's actually kind of based off Sendy a little bit. And then he's added a bunch of hotness on top of that stuff, which is really sweet. There are tons of email services. It's just a growing market. There's tons of them out there, right? So I'm sure all of those services, including Sendy and Greg's service, all have kind of like a widget that you can embed in your RappWeaver page, right? So it gives you either a JavaScript or some sort of HTML snippet. You can throw that on your page, and then the subscribers from that form will then go into your subscription database. So that's one way. I have a product called Post Office. It is a stack that integrates with Sendy as well as a bunch of it like MailChimp and MadMimi and a few others services out there. It even has its own, like if you want to migrate to manage your own in a MySQL database or something like that, it'll handle all of that for you as well. Post Office is a great solution, and I know Greg has a couple things here. Greg, what sort of things do you have available on your products?
Well, I mean, you mentioned my email newsletter stuff. It's built on top of Sendy actually, so you leverage all of the awesome features that Sendy offers, but I take care of a lot of the stuff that makes it really hard to manage, scale, deploy, backup, and I deal with all of the stuff that you don't want to deal with.
Yes, I think that's a great point. Like, yes, I do manage my own Sendy instance, but I know how to build a server, and I know how to manage a server, and I know how to do all that stuff, right? And not everyone knows how to do that. So what Greg's done here is pretty awesome. So I hate to chime in and butt in, Greg, but it is a great opportunity. I think everyone should check it out. Go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No, it's like stuff like getting your domain verified. In order to send these kind of emails, you need to have your domain verified a certain way. You also need to adhere with certain requirements. You have to handle bounce notifications. You have to handle spam complaints. You have to, you want to handle some of these new updates that come out. You have to manage that. I take care of all that. If, for instance, Amazon decides your bounce rate is too high and they delist you,
that's happening.
That's on me. Yeah. See, that's on me to resolve. I will take care of that, and that's part of my work, and I'm not really worried about it because
that sucked.
I'll take care of it. I'll fix it. I'll get it resolved. No big deal. So that's what my newsletter, that's kind of like the big draw of my newsletter. And, I've had customers come to me say they botched their Sendy install. Is completely inoperable. What do I do? And I'm like, well, we can work on getting this resolved together, or I can just bring your data over here and you won't have to worry about it, and I'll take care of it from here. And it seems like, that's something that people are interested in. And one thing that I've just started offering, and this is a good test case, Joe, because this is how bad I am. Nobody probably even knows I have this service, and nobody even knows that I offered a plan where you can collect emails for $1 a month. So you could, in theory, start right now collecting the emails to build your email marketing list. for $1 a month. And then when you have emails to send, you can then upgrade to an actual plan where you can send email. And for months where you don't have emails to send, you can downgrade back to the $1 a month plan.
Wow.
So you can go back. You could always be collecting emails, always be growing your email. But, when months where you're actually going to send a newsletter out, say holidays or something like that, and you're going to start in, October, November, December, and you're going to start sending emails out those, 1, 2, 3 months there, that's when you can upgrade and you can start sending emails out and do those things. And it's significantly more affordable than the MailChimps out there, those bigger providers. They do a lot, and not to knock their services, but being an indie developer like I am, how bad I am at this, it's not for me. It's too expensive for me because I don't have a dedicated person. I don't have an email marketing team. I don't have a CMO. I just have me, and clearly my track record has not proven itself very, very good with this stuff. So,
well, your good looks get you by, Greg. That's what it is.
Yeah. They'll have to trust you on this one. We're on a podcast here.
Yeah, we're an audio podcast.
Yeah. What are some of the things you're looking forward to?
Well, so next up is kind of like after we collect all of our data, right? Is kind of designing.
So we got users. We got users either via single or double opt-in, which is double opt-in means they get an email.
Yeah.
They get an email confirmation saying that yes, you submitted your email address to us. Please confirm that A, it exists, right? Mm-hmm. And B, you really want to subscribe to news or information from us. Everything's kind of falling that way with double opt-in, based on privacy and all that stuff. So, if you can,
most major email services, I think they have double opt-in. I think you could turn it off in some, right? But a lot of it is all double opt-in. So you get the confirmation email, the user has to click it, and then, it is kind of a, an interesting conundrum because there are people that that double opt-in email maybe goes to junk and then you never see it, so you never click it, so that describes subscribers never on your list. So there is a drawback to them, but it does clarify your list. It does make people who are subscribed to your list that they actually want to be there, right? So that is something to be said about the double opt-in.
Yeah, it's a more powerful users that you can reach, right?
Yeah.
So
because they explicitly went out to look at that double opt-in email and click on the link. So they went the extra step that a lot of people wouldn't do. So yeah,
higher chance of conversion there because they're more targeted audience for you.
Exactly. Yep.
So let's talk about design, because I know you have email, and I could certainly talk about how I use email.
Yeah.
But, tell us about email first.
Well, let me step back, and I've tried for years. People have wanted me to build something that allowed you to design an email in RapidWeaver, and I just kept thinking that there's so many other tools out there that can do that, and I've tried so many of them, including like one called Red and Responsive Email Designer, I think it was. And that one, I was so hooked on that. I thought that was going to be the thing. When I saw it, I was like, yes, finally, I don't have to build anything. This is going to be it. And it was just the biggest letdown ever. And, I tried all those ones on the App Store, and they just all fell short, Now, I do have to say that, there are, designers inside, Sendie or MailChimp, they all have their own email designer thing, built into the email provider, into the service. And they're okay. Some of them can do more than others. Some are just, glorified, word processors where you can, add an image and text and whatnot, but some are more fancy. But what Greg's getting to, I released last year, my email stacks for RapidWeaver, so you can, build out, drag and drop email directly inside RapidWeaver. So that's really cool. You can go to emailstacks.com and check that out. I don't want to dive into in a complete sales pitch on it, but it is nice. Basically you export, to an HTML and you just copy it and paste it into your email service and you're good to go. So I think I've been getting so much feedback from users that are just in love with the new, stacks that I'm really happy that I did it. And for myself as well, because I really wanted a better way to design email as well. Like a lot of times I felt like I wasn't sending out email even for my launches sometimes purely because it wasn't any fun making an email, So ever since I released the email, I have sent out a couple more emails, but I could do even better than that. Yeah, definitely, designing, emails with my, stacks for AppWeaver are awesome. But, you don't need those, I should say. You could just use the editors that come with your email service provider. But if you definitely want some extra power and some oomph, check out my email stacks. They're pretty cool. What are your thoughts, Greg?
No, yeah, because here's actually how I build it. Is I take a new RapidWeaver project, and the homepage of my RapidWeaver project, built for emails, right, is the overall template that I use, and I designed the header, the footer, basically the basic content of everything. And then when I actually go to send an email, I'll duplicate that homepage, and then I'll name that page, the date, and like the subject of the email.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, and then I'll change all the content to whatever that's about, and then basically use that, save that project. And then the next one I send out, I just go back into it, duplicate the homepage again. And now I have one project that has all the newsletters that I've ever sent out. And I had the one homepage there. That's my starting point. So I'm never starting from scratch again. I'm starting from and if I have to fix anything, I make edits to it. I just go right into the homepage, change, whatever I need to, and I'll have that for all the future revisions that I do.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I think that's good workflow. I like that. Sweet.
Yeah, it makes my life a little easier because because you have to warehouse your images too for the newsletters. So, like the header and the footer or my logo, right, is warehoused in one spot.
Yeah.
And I just duplicate that and I have it already. Don't need to change everything again.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. So next up was, what was next up?
Oh, we're going to talk about sending
list segmentation.
Yeah, it's all together, I guess. I mean, it's really about getting your email off your computer, off of whatever, and into the user's inbox, right?
Yep.
So we had under that category, it's kind of list segmentation, drip, the actual delivery, and what happens after after it hits send, it potentially comes back to you, and what that means. Yeah. So So what kind of things can you do with an email list? You can break that email list into sub-lists, and this is called segmentation, right? So, Joe collects emails based on the products that people sell. So, you could break all the sales that he has and break that list up into smaller lists based on people who purchased email, based on people who purchased foundations, so that when he goes to target users, he can target a specific group of users, or so his campaigns can be more effective, or he can say, target subgroup A and subgroup B and see which one performs better. You could target those kind of things and send out different messages. Yeah. Any comments, Joe? I don't know if you do any of that. I don't know if you do any of that.
Segmentation. I mean, if people are in the marketing world and looking at all that, like the new hipster term for that is funnels, right? So, all these things called click funnels, all it is it's just a fancy term, marketing term for a list. That's all it is. And it's a way of segmenting your list into different groups, right? And then basically you target that particular group with an email, right? So let's say, for instance, like I said earlier, I was sending emails to all people that bought foundation, right? Well, that is a funnel. right? So that funnel, the definition of that funnel is people that have purchased foundation, right? So when they go in that funnel, okay, they get, right now they only get one email, but you could make it trigger an autoresponder sequence of 20 emails if you want, or whatever, right? And then you can basically say the first email goes out immediately, the second email goes out 3 days later, or whatever, right? So, that's kind of what, what autoresponders are in terms of hipster terms, right? It's a funnel, right? But all those funnels is just a list. That's all it is. And list segments, which is taking your bigger list and breaking it down, by some sort of categorization, whether or not it's country or gender or age or products that's purchased or, anything like that is basically, a funnel, right? One thing as you were talking, Greg, that jumped in my mind during design that we should have mentioned is, you need to make sure you have an unsubscribe link at the bottom of your email.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's kind of laws globally. You have to have that. I remember I sent out an email to a small segment of users last year for the conference, and I forgot to put an unsubscribe link at the bottom because I just typed this email out quickly by hand. It was just a text email. Like it wasn't like a marketing email. And it was only to like 40 people, but for some reason, because I didn't have an unsubscribe link, a couple people just went bananas. They went bananas. They went off on me because I didn't have an unsubscribe link in the email.
Wow.
Yeah. So make sure you have those unsubscribe links, everyone. That's important.
Yeah, I think it's CAN spam is the regulation, but
yeah,
something like that. Yeah, it's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of work.
So yeah, segmenting your list is simple, and I think we've talked off about autoresponders long enough. I think we've kind of covered that segment, right?
Yeah. No, to me, autoresponders are like very exciting. Very exciting. Now,
one thing that I struggle with is the frequency in which emails get sent. I'm a part of a couple of business groups, and some of the people, I've joined the email lists of people in that group so that I can, get to know their business and I can give better feedback to them and whatnot and stuff, so on and so forth. But, there are a few people in the group that send out 1 to 2 emails every day to their list. Wow. And, I don't know about that. I don't know. As a user, I don't appreciate that. But does it work? I can't imagine that working because at that point, if you're sending out that much email, it just has to just go straight to spam. No? What do you think, Greg?
That'd be my guess. If I was to design an email drip campaign right now, I'd probably do one when you sign up, the next day, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, and then do maybe 10 days and kind of just it's kind of fast and slowly gets slower and slower because if they were most likely going to convert, it's probably in that shorter range, but it's diminishing returns, right? But you still want to keep in that mindset, but twice a day. And
it's not just. I'm a part of a ton of lists that if you look in my junk mailbox, it's I'll have 50 emails from this one guy or something like that. That I was interested in at one point, but now it's just overload. So I'm happy just to trash it all.
It sounds desperate.
Exactly. Desperate. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay.
And you can't necessarily create good or compelling copy at that kind of frequency.
Yeah. I personally, I'm more involved. I want to develop a relationship with my customers rather than just, being the guys on the Vegas Strip with the cards, which is kind of that thing where it's just throwing stuff out there, and spamming people. I see it's a negative effect. But on the flip side, what I'm doing now is also negative, where I'm not sending out enough, right? Where I'm not keeping in contact with them and establishing and maintaining that relationship, I think is important. So,
yep, I hear you. I'm very bad with it too. So it's kind of just we're just two guys here, just kind of coulda, woulda, shoulda. We just we're publicizing our deficiencies, so we can try to
we're airing out all the dirty laundry. Oh man.
Yeah.
I hope users appreciate that.
Maybe we'll finally get our acts together and start doing better.
See, everyone, we are humans too. Like,
Yep.
Okay.
So I guess so you hit send, right? Your email goes out.
Yep.
It's the user's inbox. What happens, right? We got unsubscribes, bounces, and tracking, right? Mm-hmm. The three things. So if it bounced back, you have to make sure you handle that. Make sure your mail software handles that. Most all do. If they don't, I don't know, don't use them, because it basically will take that email out of your list, so you're not constantly trying to send to an email that bounced. What happens over time is if an email becomes inactive, it'll actually become what's called like a honeypot. So, if an email used to be valid and now stops becoming valid, it'll stay active just to catch spam and find new spam. Mm-hmm. So if the email bounces, you want to take it out of your list. If people hit the unsubscribe, you definitely want to take them out of your list. They're not interested in your products anymore. So you have to make sure you handle that. Again, almost all these software packages do, no matter what you use, no matter what company. Just again, as Joe mentioned, be sure to put that unsubscribe link in your email. That's what I do with mine on my homepage. Is I have it at the bottom there, and I have it in the code required for Sendy. So Sendy automatically populates it for me, which is really great because I never have to worry about it. It's just a little bit of short code that you have to add, and it just works. So that's great. And then the most interesting part after sending out the email is just the tracking and seeing who opens it, how often they open it, if they actually click a link, and seeing the results of your work. Basically, it's like, I just sent my email out with, did it work? Hopefully for all our sakes, it works. But yeah, that's the process. Any comments, Joe?
No, I mean, that's pretty straightforward stuff. I think, you nailed it.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I'm hoping to get better about this because it's part of a larger goal that I have for communication, and I think you share that too, kind of like what you've kind of said, just making users aware that, hey, I'm here, I'm here to help you. And it's not just a pretty face. I'm just kidding. I'm not a pretty face, but you get my point.
Yes, he is.
So, yeah, just trying to get better about communicating. Wow.
Yeah, I've said it many times where it's like, people do business with other people, and the more that you can, be visible to your customers and interact with them in a personal way, I think the better, right? For everybody, not just for us, but for them as well, right? Because they feel like they get more personal help by, having a relationship other than just sending an email to support@somebigcompany.com. While obviously that's important, I have support email, you have support email, but building that relationship is important, whether it be on a community and email and social media. It's kind of the big picture thing, right? You can't do just email, right? You can't just do social media. You kind of got to be in all that stuff, I think. So yeah. Oh, I think we're running about out of time here, Greg. So,
wow, that went by fast.
That went by really quick.
Yeah.
I think we're getting pretty good at this. I'm liking it.
We're pros.
We're pros. We're getting pro, man. What can I say? Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on email, right? And I hope you check out Greg's service, and I hope you learn some new tips if you're using some other existing service on how to help out and improve your email. So
yeah, if anybody needs help and getting started with it, migrating over, just reach out because, as Joe said, we're people here. We're here to help, and it's what we like to do.
One thing we haven't done yet. This is episode 3. Okay. We got to do like the whole, Greg, how do people reach you? That sort of thing. like we haven't done that. So Greg, how do people reach you?
You can find me at chilidogsoftware.com, chilidoghosting.com. On the Rapid Weaver forums, you can find me on Twitter. You can send me an email to, I don't know if I want to put that out there so I get spam now, but you can reach me at support@chilidoghsoftware.com or support@chilidoghosting.com. If you want to just reach out, say hi, that's fine too. I'm more than happy if you want me to review your stuff and give you advice. No pressure, no nothing. I'm more than happy to.
Sweet. And you can find me, Joe Workman, basically everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. Check me out on weavers.space. That is our online community. Go there, converse. I'm there. Greg's there. Thousands of other people are there, and we're awesome. And check us out on weaverradio.com. Okay. Right now, that just forwards over to a Weaver Space community page, but pretty soon we will have a amazing website built with Rapid Weaver. And without further ado, guys. What?
Yeah. Hopefully by the time this is live, that'll
hopefully. We'll see. So anyway, guys, we will see you next week. I hope you've enjoyed the first 3 episodes so far. Leave us feedback over on the community, on the Weaver Radio community over on Weaver Space. Wow. I'm going to have to practice that one 10 times fast. Okay, guys. Well, take care. Take care, Greg.
You too. Cheers.
Bye.